what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. We're going to be back in Forza Horizon today. We're going to knock this weekly challenge out. I thought it'd be a pretty interesting one because it's got a pretty wide variety of events, and we're here in wintertime, which is going to make like these drift zones fairly interesting to try to knock out. And we also got to get a 250,000 skill score, which usually isn't too crazy difficult at all, but in wintertime it might be a little challenging, especially because I am going to take the poster car for this, the Porsche 944, plus my brother has a 944 Cabriolet, which is the convertible model. I believe his is a 91 or 92. It's also not a turbo, it's the 16 valve inline 4-cylinder, and it's an extremely quick car for how much power they make. I've had the car for quite a while actually, and got a lot of memories when I was younger riding with him in it. So let's hurry up and get out of the festival here before I have to worry about any copyright stuff. His 944 is also black actually, and from what I remember of the interior, because it's been a little while since I've rode in there with him, the interior is basically the same, the exterior is about the same, but the convertible has a very different roof line, and his also sits a lot lower than what this one does stock. Not off to the greatest start here trying to drift this thing. I do have 550 horsepower in this build. And I did like all my normal upgrades I would do for a drift build. This thing handles really strange for drifting. It might be because it's winter time as well, and I've literally not drove this car at all up till now.
Arrived at your destination.
I don't know if we actually have to do different events to get 9 stars total. Sometimes the game will let you just do the same one over and over and it'll count it. So let's go through here one more time, see if I can't get a better run out of this. I think I might have made a mistake going with 265s in the rear, but I wanted a little bit more traction because it is winter time. That's a little better. I think I might just need to get the hang of the car. Still not the greatest score, but definitely better than wiping out twice and only getting 47,000, I think it was. I have to say, from what I remember of his, this one doesn't sound terribly far off from what his is, but his is also an NA car, so it's gonna be a little bit louder than a turbo car. I don't know how many people know this that watch my videos, but turbo cars are actually usually quieter than their NA counterparts because the turbo is doing a lot of work dampening that sound down by recycling those exhaust gases.
You have arrived at your destination.
Did I really just set a new personal best my first run through there in this? That's kind of crazy. I mean, I will say I did not have the best score ever on this drift zone in the first place, but I cannot believe I got it first try in this thing. Alright, so we're gonna give the Moreland Way drift zone a couple tries here. I've literally came like within 200 points multiple times of getting 3 stars on this drift zone and just get so frustrated with it I just always give up, so maybe I can get lucky and finally get 3 stars on this thing.
You have arrived at your destination.
Well, that's one of the worst runs I have ever made through there. That did get me that Forzathon challenge, or the part of the Forzathon challenge done. So next up for this weekly challenge, we need to go over to the Asmore Heritage Circuit and do a road racing event. So I'm gonna go back to the garage, do a few mods to this thing, get it ready for actual road racing, and we'll get this one knocked out. Alright, so I did go ahead and bring this thing to A class.
Sharp left.
Didn't really check power levels or anything like that. I'm not really gonna worry about details of the build too much because it's really a pretty basic build for this car. We're pretty close to this heritage circuit, so we're just gonna go ahead and drive over there real quick. I don't think this will be a crazy long video, so I got a little time here I can burn. Just see how this thing handles here in Horizon on the roads. In real life, my brother's version of this car anyways, the convertible, handles insanely good. It's got ridiculous amounts of grip for being an all-stock car. Especially for its age, the thing has always really surprised me, which it shouldn't be super surprising. It is a Porsche, but it's a lower-end Porsche. It's not like a 911 or anything crazy. Just a little 944. But being a convertible as light as it is, and like an all aluminum and composite body, it's insanely nimble and fast. And it's got a really short wheelbase, a lot like a Miata's, so it's got like go-kart handling to it.
At the roundabout, take the second exit.
I gotta say too, from what little I've actually been able to drive that car when my mom actually owned it, the steering feels actually pretty close, even with the upgrades on it. The steering in that car is very heavy and it's extremely precise. Every little input actually really makes an impact on what the car is doing. I probably should have known better than to use this thing as a drift build, because I have built a drift version of the 944 in Forza Motorsport 7, and while it's doable, it's really not a very good chassis for it. It's very awkward to drift. It does not like much angle. It really does not suit this chassis or the motor that comes with it at all. Oh, tag that Sylvia just a little bit there. I will say that while the sound's not far off, and it could possibly partially be an issue with this being a turbo car, because I've never heard a turbo 944 in person, but the NA cars have a much deeper, more aggressive sound to them than this. I'm honestly a little shocked that I'm having so much trouble getting up here and passing these cars. I think I might have made a mistake on my gearing. It might be a little too long. I did not change it from how I had it set for drifting, and it seems to kind of be making an issue with the acceleration. Not a huge deal though, we still got a few laps here to be able to catch up to everybody. Can definitely freight train them here on these straightaways. I would complain a little maybe about getting tapped in the door like that, but it actually helped me turn in. I was braking a little too late, and with all this snow I was just kind of sliding through the corner. Oh, if he would have tapped his brakes just a split second sooner, I would have tagged him from behind instead of just catching his door a little there. Looks like we got an RX-7 up here ahead of us we got to still run down. Much faster through the corners. I was worried I wasn't quite far enough ahead of him there to cut in that sharp, but didn't sound nor feel like it was too bad of a hit. Get a little sideways there. I have to say they did a pretty good job of capturing the way this car feels in a slide too, because it is a very recoverable and stable car in real life too if you break the rear end loose a little bit. And it's actually not nearly as difficult as you would think for having, I think it's like 240 or 260 horsepower is what his was rated at from the factory with the NA motor in it. But they're just crazy torquey and have so much power on the low end. And being a stick shift, obviously you can clutch drop it, and that definitely helps with breaking the rear end loose. Although his has, I believe it's a 255 or 265 rear tire on a 9 or 9.5 inch rim. So by no means is his car lacking grip. It can just really light the tires up. Alright, so all we have left to do here is get this 250,000 skill score. I'm gonna jump back, throw this thing back on drift springs and back on stock tires. Probably take it to the old abandoned airstrip or maybe the rail yard and just throw down there and try to rack some points up. Alright, so I ended up deciding to go over here to the rail yard to try to knock this skill score part of the challenge out. Hopefully this is the right choice. I figure with the interior area and having a nice spot without ice and snow, it might be a good idea for this. How is it not counting any of that as drifting? I don't understand this game sometimes. Okay, apparently the game's gonna make this a little difficult for me to be able to knock this out. I was really hoping it was not gonna be like this, but... I call BS on that whole gear grind there. Oh no! Oh no! I was gonna try to go up the ramp and it went real bad. Oh, spun out. Come on. Oh, I thought that was gonna cut off my points. That was a nice little wall tap there. Come on. No! Why? I was doing a burnout. It would not even give me the burnout skill. What the hell, game? hit the wall. I'm stuck. Oh, I made it back up somehow. How did I do that? Like, how is it cutting my skull chain off? I am 100% still drifting. You know what, let's try it over here. This is probably not the best idea because it is very, very icy out here. Oh! Did I only have to get 250,000 altogether? I thought it was like a constant skill chain of that, not total 250,000 points. Okay, that was a lot simpler than I thought. Still a little annoyed with how the game is counting my skills in this thing though. It doesn't really make sense. It is still extremely slick in here, even though we are in an enclosed area. Well guys, that's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next time. Get out of my way, I cannot see.